Carlee Reviews episode 2. Today we're going to be talking about Beautiful Creatures by Margaret Stolt and Cami Garcia. Before we get started, yes, I do have the movie cover edition of the book. Stop judging me, it was the only one at the store. This review is going to be a little different than the last one because this one probably won't make any sense, and it will probably be full of senseless fangirl babbling. If fangirl babble isn't really your thing, well, you've been warned. First, for those of you who haven't read the book, I'm going to take a minute to talk about what it's about, and then we'll get into the spoiler section and you'll have to go. You'll have to leave. Bye-bye. X out of the video. Thank you for your view, but I don't want to spoil you. Okay, so this book is about a guy named Ethan Waite who lives in this really small southern town called Gatlin. In Gatlin, everyone is kind of catty and stuck in the past, and Ethan really hates the town that he's grown up in, and once he graduates, he hopes to leave and never return. This kind of changes a bit when there's a new girl in town. Her name is Lena Duquesne, and Ethan starts to realize that maybe she's not as regular as everyone else who lives in the town. Turns out that she is a caster, which is a fancy, I'm trying to be original name for a witch. She's basically a witch who has these natural powers that are really strong but she can't control very well. And on her 16th birthday, her powers are either going to be claimed for the light or the dark. And she has no choice over how it happens. It claims her, and it's completely out of her control. This book is amazing. From the back, you can't really tell much about what the book is going to be about, but take my word, take my little thing that I just talked about, go read the book before the movie comes out, because it's that good. I'm literally at a loss of words. So, yeah. Spoiler time is coming. Get out of here. Oh my god, this book is so good. It's unlike anything I've read in forever. I love that Ethan is the narrator instead of Lena. Not just because I love Ethan, but because it's so refreshing to have a boy narrate a book and he's human. I've never read a book where the girl is the supernatural character and the boy is the human. Sometimes they're both supernatural or they're both human, but it's never like human guy with supernatural girl. So that already made this book super refreshing, and everything about it was so enjoyable. From the first page, I was like, oh, what's happening next? What's happening next? I don't know if that was the same for you, but the day that I started, I knew that I didn't want to stop at all. I had a friend come over and I was like, oh, you're here. I wish I was reading right now. So what did you guys think of the city of Gatlin? Or I guess it's better to call it a town because it's tiny, has no fast food, and I mean, the second that I heard that you had to go to the next city over to watch movies in a theater that were already on DVD, I was like, I could never live in Gatlin. And then everyone's all big on the Civil War, which they don't even call the Civil War, the War of Northern Aggression. How much did you love that part where Ethan said he wrote the paper called the War of Southern Aggression? Ethan is so cute, and I like his family, because his family's like the sane people, the only sane people other than Marion in the entire town, which is kind of ridiculous, but while I'm talking about Ethan and his family, I adore Ethan and everything about him, except for the fact that he plays basketball. Not really a basketball girl, but if it makes him happy, it makes me happy. I like that he likes to read, that he's smart, that he doesn't let people walk all over him, and he's an individual. Oh, I'm cheesy. I can't help it. It's Ethan. I love Ethan. You're gonna watch these reviews and start to think all I do is talk about the hot female, hot male characters. I am more than a screaming fangirl who cares about man candy. It just so happens that all the books I read have man candy, and I want to scream about them. Ethan! I'm done, I promise. I'm done. No more Ethan fangirling for at least 30 seconds. Whereas I loved Ethan to death, I wasn't as crazy about Lena. She never really did anything to make me not like her, but at the same time, she never did anything to make me be like, Lena, I love you. She was cute in her little parts, like how they went parking. That was adorable. But then there was other parts where she's always like, you don't understand, Ethan. No, I'm gonna go dark. We can't be together. We're just prolonging the inevitable. And I'm like, shut up and enjoy Ethan because he loves you and you love him and you're adorable together. So, I mean, didn't not like her, didn't love her. We'll see how I feel about her by the end of the next book when I do the Beautiful Darkness review. Did anyone else notice what an incredible badass Macon is? Everything he does is perfect. The way when he invites Ethan in and he's like, kitchen will do this. And Lena's like, he means the kitchen servants. And then when he goes in to Lena's like court meeting thing and he's like, I'll open a Walmart. And of course the small town hicks of Gatlin are like, no, not a Walmart. And I was dying. And Macon knowing everyone's secrets because of Boo Radley. Can we take a minute to mention how much I love that the dog's name is Boo Radley and all of the references made to Kill a Mockingbird in this book? Because I actually read To Kill a Mockingbird for school, so I was like, yeah, I got that reference, I got it. So that was my little English class excitement. Of course, I can't make a book review without pointing out the perfection that is Ethan and Lena. What's their ship name? Is it Elena or Lethan? I don't know. If you know, please comment, because I'm afraid that if I look it up, I'll get spoilers, and I don't like spoilers. But anyways, Ethan and Lena are adorable from the minute that Lena and Ethan, when he was dreaming of her, and of course, you know, his dreams, he'll like be holding on to her and then he'll let go because he can't hold on any longer and he'll wake up like soaking wet or covered in mud. He didn't find this suspicious or think to tell anyone like a therapist. He was just like, had that dream again, darn. But the second that he was dreaming about her and he was like, he knew that he was falling in love with this dream girl, and then she showed up at school, and he didn't realize it at first, but once he started to, I was like, yeah. And then from there, the progression of the relationship, all I was hoping was, kiss her. When are you gonna kiss? Kissing time. Let's get kissy. Yes, love, forever. 'Cause that seems to be all I think about when I read these kinds of books. Not like this book can be compared to any other book. The way that they talk to each other in their minds is perfect. It's proof that they're soulmates, no matter what the little cast or mortal, kill each other, can't be together law says. They're soulmates because they can do that. And when, can't remember the page right now, I was gonna look for it. When they were in, and he was like, he almost used the L word in the middle of the cafeteria in front of Link, and then it was like, talk about a hot lunch. Hilarious. Hilarious. The windows exploding. I know I've seen this part in the trailer, and it looks perfect. That was one of my favorite scenes, because you could tell how they were egging her on, and I was like, you bitches, horrible fucking bitches. And Lena's like, I bet Lena Ravenwood knows the answer. Emily, you know that's not her name. Sorry, every time I quote the book, I feel the need to do it in an accent. The way that the window just like, and everyone's freaking out. And then Lena is right there and she's like, did I do that? I'm so excited for that whole scene in the movie. I'm excited for every scene in the movie. The movie. The movie. Perfect. I know I'm not the only person who saw this coming. I can't be the only one who, when Mrs. Lincoln was talking about Lena and she's like, her mother murdered her father, I was like, Mrs. Lincoln's in on this. Either A, she's a dark caster and none of us knew about it, or B, like, Seraphine is possessing her and she's speaking to her and they're in cahoots. Yes, I just said the word cahoots. But I knew it! I was like, Mrs. Lincoln is more than just a crazy housewife. She's truly evil! And she was. Point for Carlee, guessing the ending, just like Ethan does every time they're at movies. Yay! I also kind of saw Larkin being evil, because what kind of guy can turn his hand into a snake and make out with Emily Asher and not be evil or crazy? So it was like, the second that Ethan left, and it was like, it looks like your father's gonna jump. First of all, obviously that's Ridley playing a trick. Don't you remember what Lena said? Ridley could make a guy jump off a cliff if she wanted to. He's standing on a balcony looking like he's gonna jump. Ridley is behind this. This is obviously a trap. And then he just left Lena on the night of her birthday when all evil could be coming for her. And he's like, Larkin will take care of her. This is your girlfriend. You should keep your eyes on her. Don't trust her with anyone, even family. Ridley was her family. Look how that turned out. Oh. And then you know that you can protect her better than any caster for some weird reason that I hope we find out in the next book. But you left. She was taken. Wow. Wow, Ethan. Your only moment of stupidity. Well, one of your only 2 moments of stupidity. The other one being when you didn't think that Lena wanted to go to the dance, so you weren't gonna ask her. Bad move, bro. Bad move. I'm kinda confused though, because, I mean, Mrs. Lincoln isn't really Seraphine, so why don't they have a Seraphine in the cast list? And how come it always looks like in the trailer that Mrs. Lincoln is Seraphine? I mean, the whole point is that Seraphine is supposed to come out of Mrs. Lincoln, so we kind of need a Seraphine to come out of Mrs. Lincoln. But I'm sure they'll deal with it somehow, so whatever. Did you notice that they don't have an Ethan Carter Waite in the cast list? Which makes me wonder if in the flashbacks they're gonna use Alden, if Alden will be both Ethans, because they talk about how alike they look. I think that would be really cool, because it's like Ethan in the past, Ethan today, and they're both named Ethan, so yeah. I want Macon to come back to life. He's an incubus. Can't they have like 20 lives or something, please? I mean, I didn't think he was gonna die. Then when Boo Radley was about to die, that was tears. I seriously thought Boo Radley was dying. They can't do that to dogs. That's unfair. But Boo Radley's still alive. So is it like a part of Macon is living on in Boo? Because it's kind of amazing and kind of creepy at the same time. But oh, Macon! I know I'm not the only one who's severely disturbed by Ethan's dad. It's like, oh, he's writing a book. That's nice. Kind of weird that he stays up all night, but I mean, I stay up all night, so who cares? Then when they go into his office and there's nothing but rows of scribbles and circles, oh my God, chills. I was terrified, actually. If you follow me on Twitter, you probably noticed that I was freaking out. It was so sick and scary, but at the same time I was like, oh my God, Ethan, my poor baby, your dad's off the deep end. I'd kind of like to see him become sane again. Soon. Probably. I know it's sad, his wife died, and it's hard to deal with that kind of loss, but Ethan's mom died, and he's doing just fine. Come to the light, Mr. Waite. What's his name? Is it Mitchell, or is the actor playing him named Mitchell? One of them is named Mitchell. One of them. So, in conclusion, I really loved this book. I'm super excited for the movie. On a rating of 1 to 10, I'm gonna give it a 1 million bajillion. Oh my God. I mean, this isn't the best book I've ever read, but it definitely is making Carlee's Hall of Fame when it comes to books. So good. So good. And that's about all I have to say for you today. Don't live in Gatlin because it's full of casters. Bye!